Hello, friends. Hello, it's Tanya with Sweet Tea Stampin' Spot, and it's Tuesday in the 2 o'clock hour on the East Coast, and it is November 26th, so just a few days before Thanksgiving here, and I am here today to do a Tuesday tip. So I wanted to share with you something that I learned by messing with some of my newer dies, and I wanted to share this little tip with you. You may or may not have this set of dies, but there's several of them of similar style, and I think I know there's some coming in the new catalog in January that'll have a similar type of style. So I wanted to share a little tip with you, and just wish you a happy Thanksgiving too. And like I said, it's Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2024, and I am here to do my Tuesday tip. I might take this off the Wi-Fi. Give me just 1 second. Yep, I knew it was gonna like blip for a second there, so sorry for that little pause, but hello. If you're watching live, let me know. If you're watching a replay, let me know. I'm trying to get my computer also pulled up at the same time so I can see comments. Let's see here. So I'm going to show you something with the sophisticated sled dies. And then I got a couple samples to show you as well. So hopefully you can take something from this. And again, if you don't have this specific set of dies, who knows? Maybe you'll be you'll be interested in getting them. I don't know. They're a really fun set. This was released during the online exclusive release this past summer. So this is one of those that we used at our summer and July class. And then I've used a few times since in different holiday classes. And I used again today in my coffee and cards class. So I just wanted to share this tip with you. So let me get my phone turned down. So bear with me as I flip us to my desktop. And sometimes it's fairly smooth. Sometimes I have to make a few adjustments. So just give me a second to do that. And I might have to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay. So like I mentioned, the set I'm talking about is the Sophisticated Sled stamp set. And just a note about one of the things I do for organization. If something is introduced and is an online exclusive, not part of a catalog, and this is helpful for whether you are a demonstrator or just a stamping enthusiast, but I like to keep track of mine that have online exclusives introduced that way, with a little sticker on it. It just says OE. I just wrote that by hand. That's just how I keep it organized and remember that it wasn't part of a catalog launch. So just a note about that. Excuse me. This year we had 3 online exclusive launches during 2024. And beginning in 2025, they're actually stepping up the online exclusives. There's going to be an online exclusive launched every other month. And that will include a variety of products, including suites, stamp sets, bundles. That will include designer papers, sometimes embellishments or ribbons, lots of different choices there. So keep that in mind. So if you like to keep your stuff organized, I suggest some kind of way to mark that it was an online exclusive so that you aren't looking back through a catalog to find it. So this particular set of stamps also came with a set of dies, and I pulled a few out, so they're not all in the pack here. But what I wanted to share with you was the dies that make the skates. So this die here actually coordinates with the stamps. When you stamp the skate image, you can die cut those hanging skates with this die here. But then there is also 3 pieces that you can use to create your own skates, and they are a little bit smaller than the skates that are stamped. So what I wanted to show you was how to put these together and keep it easy. I actually taught someone who had the dies already today a little tip on this, so I figured this would be a great one to share. And again, you may not have this set of dies, but I do know there is a die set coming that has a similar feature in the spring catalog, and that's because I've already gotten my copy of the catalog and I have been able to look through it and even start pre-ordering, because that's what we get to do as demonstrators, is get them ahead of time. So anybody that signs up as a demonstrator can do that. So all right, so let me show you about these real quick. So when you cut out this pair of skates, they're going to come out, and I know that's probably not the best color to put this on, is white on white, but let's move my thing in here. So we've got the skates, they come as the pair from this die. And then this die here is for the blades, and I've actually cut them out in smoky slate. So they come in a pair. And then the last die here is for the laces. So you kind of got 3 pieces to assemble a pair of skates. Well, 6 pieces technically, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 pieces there to assemble a pair of skates. So this was the card I did at my class today, which was inspired by my friend Jen Bach. She is from By the Shore Stamping. I met her several years ago at a demonstrator event in Richmond, Virginia. We both got to present at that event. She lives up in Massachusetts and is a big scrapbooking creator, and she does cards as well. But Jen Bach, if you want to follow her, By the Shore Stamping is her Facebook page. She had a similar card. I changed it a little bit to meet my needs, but I liked some of the elements she used in there. And I had not played with the skates myself. So I wanted to show you the easiest way I found to put these pair of skates together here. All right, so once you cut them out, and again, I just did white skates with smoky slate blades and laces. Of course, you could change up those any way you want with some silver or metallic. And I am going to put my glasses on because this is some fine tuning here. So these skates here, as you can see, the little blades just go right over the bottom of the skate there. But you have to adhere them down. So we tend to sometimes hold the little piece and put glue on here, which then gets it all over your fingers and everything. So what I would suggest you do, let me move these out of the way, is actually get a silicone mat, and this is the silicone mat that Stampin' Up! Sells, and it's called the Silicone Craft Sheet. It's about a 6x6 piece of silicone. It does have Stampin' Up! You can't see it on the camera probably, but it has Stampin' Up! Embossed right there on it. And it's $6.50 in the US. The number is 127853, and I'll put that in the video information. But what I would suggest is you get a silicone mat. That way you don't get your surface sticky or your project area sticky. I would also suggest you use fine tip glue for something like this. Now, fine tip glue is also an adhesive product we sell. It is even more fine and clear compared to our green glue. Now, currently it is out of stock, but it's coming back mid-December. So if you don't have this kind of glue, you could still use this. Just be very easy with it. Don't put a lot of the green glue on there because you don't need a ton. But this fine tip glue, as you'll see in a moment when I open it up, it is almost like a little needle for adding glue to your project. So there's the tip that it comes out. And then actually when you go to put it back in, you have to get that little piece into the hole, which is always requiring my glasses lately. But what I would suggest you do is just take this little teeny fine tip glue pen and just put a little bit of glue right on the white piece. And I'm going to pick it up just a little bit just so you can see, maybe you can see the little bit of glue on there. You might not be able to see because of the focusing, but you don't need a ton. And then I would lay the gray piece that's for the blade and just put that down right on your skate. Then I would flip that over and move it out of my way and let that dry. So again, we're going to take just the finest little tip of glue, the fine tip glue. And again, if you have only the green glue or another liquid glue, just be very careful. You don't need a ton. And then put your cutout die cut piece with the blade on it and put that there and let that dry for a moment. Now, the laces. So that takes care of putting the blade on the skate there. And then you've got these laces. So you may or may not notice that They're actually not on top of the skate. It actually gets tucked down into the skate. And that is actually the way the die cuts. So if you look at the die, there's actually this little piece right here, and that cuts little slots for these laces to go in. All right, so when you die cut your laces, again, you're going to die cut a pair of them, and then that's what it gives you is 2 of these to use in your skates, 1 for each. And again, you could change the color of those if you would like. And then on this one, you can see that little slot is right there. You just tuck this little lace right in there like that. You don't even have to use glue, but what I would recommend is on the back, add a dimensional. That way, that stays in place. So, and then your lace is secure. You don't have to use a glue on that and fuss with the real detailed glue, but definitely put glue for the blade there, and then you just tuck in the lace part. Again, you can see the little opening, I think, right there. The lace just tucks right in there. I'm going to add a dimensional to the back, and then these will be ready to go onto my project. And that's an easy way to do those. So let me show you a few samples. So again, I encourage you definitely to, when you're messing with little teeny things that you glue, that you get a silicone craft mat or craft sheet. Fine tip glue is always a great adhesive staple to have, especially when doing little things like this. Let's see if I can put this in there to close it. Of course, on camera. Probably not going to happen. Oh, not bad. All right. And then, so let me show you a few samples. So some of these cards that I did were done earlier this year. This one used several parts of this set. So I used the sled here, just stamped the sled in the background there. Of course, let it snow for the greeting. And then I used this little swag here and colored that in. This was one that I did using the sled, but die cutting the pieces of the sled and the little die cut greenery swag there on this one, which is from this die right here. This one my friend Colleen did, same thing, die cut parts of the sled and the swag, the little cardinal there as well. Let's decorate the season with happiness. My friend Judy, she did not know the trick about the laces. So she actually took the time and glued the pieces for the lace on her skate boot there. So she did not know about tucking them in that little spot. She wasn't sure what that was for. So that's why I was like, let me just share this tip because I think that'll be helpful for people. All right, and then here's my one that I showed you earlier, and that's what we did in class today, inspired by my friend Jen Bach. From By the Shore Stamping. And so I just love this card. I love this stamp set. I bought this when it came out in June or July rather, and I've used it several times and I've really enjoyed it. And it's a great one to carry us into the winter months as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tip, and let me know if you have questions, and I am looking forward to sharing with you next week. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.